Hi, and welcome to Edolab Markets. Today we're working with the volume-weighted average price, using Edo VWAP Core. VWAP is the average price every share actually traded at, weighted by volume, so it's the level the market as a whole did business. Big institutions benchmark their fills against it, which is why price so often gravitates back to it. This indicator anchors VWAP to the week and the month, wraps it in deviation bands, and tells you whether price is cheap or expensive relative to that average. On the S&P 500 Fund Daily you can see the two VWAP lines and the bands around them. There are two VWAP lines. The blue one is anchored to the week, the orange one to the month. Each resets at the start of its period and rebuilds from there, so the weekly VWAP restarts every Monday, the monthly on the first of the month. An anchored VWAP is the fair value since that anchor, the volume-weighted average of everything traded since the week or month began. On Charles Schwab Daily you can watch the weekly line reset each week while the monthly line runs smoother across the whole month. Two horizons of fair value, on the same chart. Around each VWAP the indicator draws standard deviation bands, at 1 sigma and 2 sigma. 1 sigma is the normal range of trade around the average, 2 sigma is where price is stretched. The bands widen when trade is volatile and tighten when it's calm, so they breathe with the market. On analog devices daily you can see the shaded envelope expand and contract around the VWAP. The further price is from VWAP in sigma, the more extended the move. When price pushes above the upper bands, it enters premium, expensive relative to the average. Between 1 and 2 sigma above VWAP is premium, beyond 2 sigma is premium extreme, a stretched, overextended reading. The upper zone is shaded red to flag it at a glance. On EOG Resources daily you can see the rallies that tagged the premium extreme band and then cooled off. Premium doesn't mean sell, it means price is rich, and mean reversion is more likely. Below VWAP is the mirror, discount, price cheap relative to the average. 1 to 2 sigma below is discount, beyond 2 sigma is discount extreme, shaded green. These are the zones where price has stretched to the downside and often snaps back toward VWAP. On Salesforce daily the dips into the discount extreme band mark where sellers overextended. Discount is where value buyers benchmark, not a signal on its own. The indicator turns all of that into one of 5 states. Premium extreme, premium, neutral around VWAP, discount, and discount extreme. Neutral means price is trading inside the first band, close to fair value, the extremes are the stretched readings on either side. On Amgen daily you can follow the state shift as price travels from discount, back through neutral, and up into premium. One word tells you where price sits in its own value range. The shaded fill between price and VWAP makes the pull visible. It colors by state, and the wider it gets, the further price has strayed from fair value. VWAP acts like a magnet, extended moves tend to revert toward it, and the fill shows that tension. On Eaton daily you can see the fill stretch at the extremes and collapse as price returns to the line. The sigma distance in the panel puts a number on exactly how far price has strayed. The panel gathers it all in the top right corner. The top rows are the state and how many bars it's held, and the sigma distance from VWAP. Then the weekly VWAP with its 1 and 2 sigma levels, and an arrow for price above or below it. And the same block for the monthly VWAP underneath. On Lowe's daily, the panel gives you the exact levels and the state in one red. Let's open the settings. The bands are the heart of it. You can set the sigma multipliers for the inner and outer bands, and the price source, typical price by default. You choose whether the weekly or the monthly VWAP drives the state classification. And you can show or hide either VWAP and its bands entirely. On Colgate daily, the defaults, 1 and 2 sigma on the weekly, are a solid starting point. The rest is presentation, all about how it looks. The fill between price and VWAP is colored by whichever state you're in, and you can set how strong it is. You can color the whole background by state, or paint the candles themselves, instead of just the fill. Line width, the price source, and further down each state and VWAP line its own color. On Rivian daily, the defaults keep it clean, tune the visuals to taste. Finally, the alerts, from the Create Alert dialog. There are 9, entering each of the 5 states, price crossing above or below the reference VWAP, and a new weekly or monthly anchor. So you can be told when price reaches an extreme, crosses fair value, or a fresh VWAP begins. None of them is a buy or a sell order, they simply mark that a condition was met on the closed candle. Edo VWAP Core is free and open source. You'll find the full script on TradingView, and everything else on our website, www.edolab.io. Structure before signals. This is Edolab Markets, and we'll see you in the next video.